everybody. I hope that you're having a beautiful Palm Sunday today. And because of Palm Sunday, I felt compelled to talk about what that really meant when Jesus came into Jerusalem and everyone laid down their coats and their palms, their palm fronds. You see, today, as I was working in the yard, which is why I'm not all dressed up and my hair's not really done, I went into the yard and I was going to do this big project so that my husband wouldn't have to do it later. I thought I could do all of this on my own. And I went to lay down the weed paper and I went to go lay down the mulch. And at the end of the project, I was really hot and grimy and tired, and I did not have enough mulch to continue the project, nor did I have enough energy after I got a shower to go back to the home improvement store and pick up more mulch and go back into the yard and lay another, after 10 bags of mulch, another 5 or 6 bags of mulch probably would be what it would take to finish one bed in our front yard. Yes, we have a lot of landscaping. So I came in, I was covered with red grime, head to toe, exhausted, and I still couldn't complete what I had tried to do. And it reminded me of a time in my life when I felt grimy with shame, and I felt as though I couldn't get the things that I was trying to achieve. I couldn't achieve significance. I couldn't achieve purpose. I couldn't achieve acceptance, even, no matter how hard I had tried. And I felt covered with shame from head to toe and unable to completely get clean. So my only option, just like with today, working in the yard, was to be done and just give up. So when your only option is to give up, sometimes surrender is the best place to be, because then you have the opportunity to get someone in who's going to really help you. And in that situation, when your place is you're so fraught with shame and you have nothing left, that's when you're in the perfect place to receive everything that you could possibly need to empower you, to strengthen you, to give you hope and give you new life and all the things that you need through our shame slayer. You see, even though I knew the Lord at the time that I was covered with shame, I was not accessing the full benefits of our shame slayer king. I was trying to do things on my own. Have you ever been there where you were trying to achieve everything on your own strength without availing yourself of the strength of Christ? So we have that at our call through prayer, because Christ is always with us, and yet we sometimes try to do it on our own strength and power anyway, and it doesn't work so well, and it leaves us in a really bad, desperate sort of place. But in our desperation, whether we are people who have known him or have not yet known him, Jesus is faithful, and that's why he was here in Jerusalem on that Palm Sunday. He was coming in to take on the shame of all of those who would lay their lives down for him to come into their lives. And he would take up all their shame and all their suffering, all the things in their soul that just ached from being separated from that close intimacy with God and that fullness of his power and his freedom and his victory in their lives. And so in Jerusalem at that time, people normally only had one cloak, if they had one at all, and they were laying down this one garment of honor for him because they were recognizing him as a king when they did that. And they would also cut palm fronds, which were like the symbol of Israel. So it was like the flag of Israel that they were laying down for the king to come in and walk on. And a donkey, when he came in on a donkey, that was the symbol of a king long ago, like David, would come in on a donkey instead of a horse to show that they were coming in a time of peace. So he was bringing peace into the lives of people who'd been in turmoil and suffering and had lived in shame, for all of those who would come and lay down all their significance and their own honor. he would come in and bring them hope and shame and new life. And he went to suffer and die on their behalf on the cross and was resurrected. So this brought us all the way through to victory. And the thing about Jesus was that he didn't just deliver us or people in Scripture from something. He always delivers us to something, to a life of purpose, to give us a crown of glory. So he takes away all the shame and sin and suffering and gives us power and strength and glory and purpose and meaning in our lives to bring those blessings to others around us. When the woman was falling at his feet because the Pharisees had brought her in caught in adultery, he lifted her up and sent her out to go and sin no more. So he delivered her from death because they were planning to stone her to death, lifted her up and gave her the term. When he said woman, it was a term of respect. So he gave her respect and sent her away to a new life of honor and respect. So this was the pattern that Jesus followed with all those who came into his life. He would lift them up. He lifted up the man who was filled with demons, the demoniac, in the Gerasenes or the Gadarenes, depending on which gospel you're reading. He was delivered from a legion, 5,000 demons, not just from them, but he was delivered to be an evangelist to the Gentile country that he lived in. So he delivered him from sin and shame and suffering and torment to a life of honor and purpose. And that is what Jesus, the shame slayer, does for us and what he can do for you. And I'm so excited about having him to honor this week. How will you honor the shame slayer? Who will you bring that blessing to share with? I wanted to show you also, last week I talked about my orchid that needed repotting. I didn't just take it out of its old pot. I put it in something of honor and respect on my dining room table. So when Jesus repots our lives, he repots them to something of great honor and distinction and respect, just like that beautiful crystal bowl on its silver stand is the new position for that orchid that was outgrowing its plastic tub. So that's what Jesus, he values us, he cherishes us, he loves us, and he's willing to do what it takes to give us a crown of glory and a life of purpose. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a blessed and beautiful Holy Week this week. Bye-bye.